And we are back with another case study about one of the most famous companies, and yet not a lot of us know about it. Today I'm going to talk about Asian Paints, and we all have heard the famous tagline, "Har ghar kuch kehta hai." Well, as much as we know about this tagline about Asian Paints, we do not know about the beautiful story that comes with a lot of struggles for the company. So let's deep dive into this amazing company which has been serving us, or I should say, has been adding colors to our homes for over 7 decades now. Asian Paints was founded in the year 1942 by 4 friends in the city of Mumbai. It was launched at a time where everywhere the entire market was dominated by foreign companies, and we had just a few small Indian paint companies available. At that time, only a few foreign businesses and Shalimar Paints was dominating the entire market during World War II and Quit India movement that happened in 1942 because of the prohibition that was imposed on the paint imports. And that is when Asian Paints entered the market and recorded an annual turnover of 23 crores in 1952 with a PBT of 2%. However, the company's growth was really slow because of the entire World War II and Quit India movement. But just when the World War ended, Asian Paints began to grow rapidly. These 4 friends, Champak Lal Choksi, Chiman Lal Choksi, Suryakant and Arvind Vakil, founded this business in a garage in Gaiwadi, Mumbai. The majority of the shares are owned by the 4 families collectively. However, in 1990, when the corporation began to grow outside India, issues over international rights began to rise. And that is why, due to disagreements amongst the friends, Choksi sold their 13.7% shares of the company and left. And after Champak Lal's death in 1997, his son Atul actually took in charge. The remaining 3 families and the Unit Trust of India purchased Choksi's interests on a mutual basis following failed partnership negotiations with the British corporation Imperial Chemical Industries. Currently, all the 3 friends collectively own 53% of the share of the company as of 2021. Well, moving back a little bit and understanding how actually Asian Paints came into picture. Well, there was already a dominance of Shalimar Paints, which had set the groundwork in Calcutta from the year 1902. But soon, when in 1942, these 4 friends want to make Asian Paints a big name, there was some prohibitions that were applied on the paint imports, which made the business come to a halt. The business name at that point was the Asian Oil and Paint Company, which the founders chose at random from a phone book. Well, to understand how did Asian Paints even thought about venturing into the paint market, we need to understand what is the paint market actually. So currently, if we see, the paint market is divided into 2 sections. So currently we have 2 kinds of paints. One is the industrial paint and one is the decorative paints. So the decorative paints include all the exterior wall paints, interior wall paints, wood finishes, enamel, and all the ancillary products like putties, primers, etc. While the industrial paint includes automotive coatings, powder coatings, and protective coatings. And if we see the market segment in the paint industry, the decorative segment actually contributes to 75% of the entire paint market, while only 25% is actually dominated by the industrial paint. And it is very easy to identify that all the unorganized players can eventually dig into decorative paints, as it does not require any technology or the know-hows, while only the organized players or someone who has been in the industry for a long time can actually launch industrial paints. And as we are talking about Asian Paints also focuses majorly on decorative paint industry. The company currently operates across 22 nations. Asia, Middle East, South Pacific, and Africa are the 4 regions where it is currently active. If we see, Asian Paints as an organization has actually provided services to more than 150,000 shops in India and operates 26 manufacturing units worldwide. So obviously to state, Asian Paints is the 3rd largest paint brand in Asia and the 9th largest paint brand overall. Now obviously we would all want to know what made Asian Paints such a big name. Well, it is definitely 2 things. One thing is the quality of the paints that they have maintained over all these years. And the second is they never hesitated to adjust to the trends and the industry needs. And it's just not about following the trends. Recently, the non-polluting color Royal Atmos, where Deepika Padukone was featured, brought attention to the problem of indoor pollution. And it helped the company to bring back the trust of the people in the Asian Paints. And that is how a lot of products that tailored to the Indian climate, making sure that their paints are heat resistant and waterproof as well. Until now, the most successful product from Asian Paints has been washable distemper, which is a combination of cheap dry distemper and expensive plastic distemper. Well, we know a lot about Asian Paints now, but what was their operating strategy in India? The first is localized products. They were very sure that if they customize their own paints, catering to the Indian people by developing paints which are waterproof and heat resistant, they are going to gain a lot of trust over any other paint in India. The second is maintaining a strong dealer network. They understood that if they needed to expand across Indian cities or even the remotest of areas, it is great if you have a very well-knit dealer network, and that is what they focused on. The third is quality control. Even when Asian Paints is such a big company, from the early days, the founders have maintained the kind of quality that the products should have, be it by applying new technologies, processes, QC, everything. And because of that, Asian Paint still stands as the epitome of quality. Number 4 is customer-centric approach. Asian Paints has been one of those companies which has always kept the customers at the center, understanding their preferences and developing products around their needs. 5th point is innovation. Asian Paints as a company heavily invested in research and development and introduced new products every time, catering to the Indian market. And 6th is the most important one, which is the brand building. They never hesitated to run a lot of advertisements and ensuring that all the good names are attached with the product. And that is what their marketing strategy has also been, where unlike other paint companies, they did not just focus on urban areas. They in fact have around a 13,000 dealer network, which ensures that Asian Paints is a good household name even in the remotest of areas. And recently, Asian Paints has also done a lot of partnerships, like by partnering with PPG INC, they have ensured that they can meet the ever-growing demand of automotive coating, industrial powder, protective coating, industrial light coating, and industrial container coating in India. With such partnerships, Asian Paints has been growing as the leading paint company. Well, initially their process was that it was manufactured in the factory, then it used to go to the distributor, then from distributor used to go to the dealer, from dealer it used to go to the consumer. And when Mr. Choksi found out that there was so much dependency on the distributors as they were taking 20% cut, he removed that dependency. Then he built a logistical network to stock the deal 4 times a day. And he was only able to do this because he was able to adapt the supercomputers in 1970. The supercomputer helped him to track the quantity, color, and tin sizes they were selling in every hour, every single day. This enabled Asian Paints to directly selling it to the dealers, keeping a 97% of the MRP, while all the other competitors are just saving 60%. With so much going on for Asian Paints and the innovative founders, Asian Paints has proven time and again to be one of the leading paint companies. What did you like about that case study? Comment in the video, and if you are looking forward to some more business case studies, please give us ideas in the comments. See you in the next video.